Hello, my name is Dora Romero and my nursery is called Santa Bárbara. We are located in Fusagasugá, Chinauta, kilometer 60, and I invite you to see my orchid cultivation process. I'd like to share with you the cultivation process of several species of orchids, such as an encyclical, Sobralia and Cattleya. Although this process is empirical and not carried out in laboratories, it is quite fascinating. Beginning with the encyclical orchid, that is characterized by its three floral rods. When one of these rods is pollinated by a bee, the flower begins to open and release its pollen. Then I collect the flower and deposit it in a coconut container where the orchid seedbed is formed. This process requires patience. As it takes around 2 years for the plant to be ready to be transplanted into a tray in a process called peeling. During this process, each plant is placed in an individual hole. After 3 years, the orchids are ready to be transferred to pots. In the case of Sobralia, a similar treatment is followed. It is spread on cocoa material and watered properly. After a period of 2 years, the plants are ready to be transferred to a tray in the peeling process, where they are placed in individual holes. After 3 years, these orchids are also ready. After 3 years, these orchids are also ready to be transplanted into pots. Also, I have an opportunity to get Cattleya capsules through a friend who works in a lab. These capsules contain different varieties, such as Cattleya, Lobiana, Cattleya barcevis, and hybrid Cattleya. Once I receive the capsules, I clean them and move them to pots to continue their growth. It is exciting to see the entire cultivation process of these beautiful orchids using empirical methods and different propagation techniques. Each step requires dedication and care, but the results are worth it. An important part of the orchid growing process involves transplanting seedlings into bottles. Although this process is empirical, many people can do it following the appropriate treatment for each species. After washing and disinfecting the bottle, it is opened with scissors and the seedlings are inserted. After washing and disinfecting the bottle, it is opened with scissors and the seedlings are inserted. Then, it is sealed with tape to protect them from the cold. The warm environment of a greenhouse favors its growth, as we can see. When the seedlings have grown sufficiently, they are removed from the bottle and placed in the natural environment, where they are supplied with water and rainwater once a week to provide them with natural growing conditions. In addition, a soft fertilizer is applied to them, such as thiamine, to promote their development. I also have the opportunity to work with Cattleya's capsules which are brought from a laboratory in special chambers. After cleaning them, they were placed in pots to continue their growth. In my collection, there is a wide variety of orchids, such as Stanhopea, Gongora, Miltonias, Cattleyas, Oxidium, Dendrobium, and Zapaticos or Rapipedium. Colombia is home to around 450 varieties, of which I have approximately 300. Each one has its own pollination and development process. The natural environment of my collection is important, as existing trees provide shade and harbour mycorrhizae, which allow fallen bulbs to germinate and develop. For this reason, I have avoided the felling of trees and have maintained the natural vegetation of the place.
Matica. Los invito.
I invite you to visit my orchid trail in Chinauta at an altitude of approximately 1,600 meters. Although some consider the climate to be warm, I have varieties such as Mandevilla, Stanhopea, Gongora, and Miltonias, which do well in cool climates. The surrounding trees provide natural vegetation that contributes to the success of my orchids. The surrounding trees provide natural vegetation that contributes to the success of my orchids. I want to emphasize the importance of conserving trees and avoiding deforestation. These trees are essential for many plants, such as orchids. In my collection, I do not allow the felling of any tree since its presence is essential to maintain a suitable climate and favor the growth of orchids, especially Cattleyas that are found in the sunniest part of the garden. Here you can appreciate some of the varieties that have been cultivated, such as the Gongora bisbal and the maxillaria. In addition, I hang some species such as Coleus so that they find natural shade and thrive. In this section, I present a terrestrial variety of orchid called Phaeus. It exists in its native colour known as the whirlwind, and also in yellow, which are hybrid crosses. Later, we find the Miltonias in bud. I have a Miltonia miltoniopsis that is about to flower. These Oxidium orchids are also about to bloom. All these varieties are developed in a natural environment without a greenhouse. Since excess heat can be detrimental to them. Soon all Miltonias will flower naturally. In the back we have the slippers, and the Cattleyas are in another section of the garden. Apart from my passion for orchids, I also dedicate myself to the cultivation of succulents and cacti. These plants require less water compared to orchids, so I take advantage of this water conservation process. Cacti and succulents are watered twice a week. Here in Chinauta, the issue of water is complicated, so I look for plants that don't need so much water. Caring for succulents is quite simple. They are watered twice a week, composted once a week, and need good light and air. Regarding their reproduction, some succulents are propagated from leaves, while others are grown from seeds. Succulents are also naturally pollinated by insects, as without this pollination process, they will not produce seeds. Some bought imported seeds to grow succulents and went through the planting process. In the case of the leaves, I separated them and placed them in a dry place. Then it takes approximately 2 to 3 months for a new plant to develop. I want to thank the Asovica Association for sending the people from TV Agro to accompany me in this space where I can share my plants. I'll leave you my contact number, which is 301-409-1928, in a nursery called Santa Bárbara in Chinauta. Thank you.